أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وبعد. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Wherever you are, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you and your loved one are safe and well and are at your best as always, with high spirit of Iman and good deed. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to worship Him in a way that He will be pleased with us. Amen. My topic this evening is HUSNUL khatimah, good ending, good death, a death that every believing person wants for themselves and for their loved ones. Based on the hadith and the supplications Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to, and he taught us, that is to always supplicate and say, Allahumma inni as'aluka husnal khatimah, Allahumma urzuqni husnal khatimah, Allahumma urzuqni tawbatan nasuha, Allahumma ya muqallibal qulubi thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Allah, my Creator, I ask you to grant me good ending. Allah, my Creator, I ask you to grant me accepted tawbah. Oh Allah, I ask you, you are the twister of the heart. I ask you to stabilize, to make my heart remain steadfast in your deen. We know there are certain people, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam have mentioned that those people who die in this status, they are martyrs. Martyrs who die in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have attained good ending. We also know the hadith that says the one who drowns have had a good ending and he dies as a martyr. We also know the hadith that when a woman dies while giving birth to a child, she too is a martyr. There are many other hadiths pertaining to this topic. Husnul khatimah, أن يأتيك الموت وليس لأحد عندك حق ولم تسلب مالا ولم تأكل ميراث إخوتك ولم تخذ في أعراض الناس ولم تأكل لحومهم بالغيبة. Husnul khatimah, good ending, is death coming to you at a time that no, you are not holding on to anyone's right without making sure that he or she gets it. Husnul khatimah, good ending, is when death comes to you, you have not eaten the shares of the inheritance of other people, of your siblings. Husnul khatimah is when death comes to you and you are in a status that you have not been indulged in backbiting others, in pulling out other people's secret, and eating their fleshes by backbiting them. We know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا وكرهتموه? Would any one of you love to eat the flesh of other persons and you dislike that? حسن الخاتمة أن يأتيك الموت وأنت بريء مما رماك الناس به. A good ending is for that to come to you when you are of a distance of what people are accusing you of. People will talk bad about you. If the key to the Jannah was to be with these people, you might not get it. That is how much they dislike you. So Husnul Khatimah is for that to come to you when you are away, you are far away. You are not at how people are describing you. Husnul Khatimah أن يأتيك الموت وقد أمن منك جيرانك. A good ending is for that to come to you and your neighbors are safe from your tongue and your neighbors are safe from being harmed by you, and your heart, your tongue is constantly remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have softened your heart toward the people you are dealing with, be it Muslims or non-Muslim. A good ending is for that to come to you when you have lowered your wing of respect for your parent, when you have fulfilled the right of your parent. Husnul Khatimah is for that to come to you while you have no relative that you are in boycott with, meaning that you are in connection, you are in contact with your blood relatives. Good ending, Husnul Khatimah, أن يأتيك وقد آملت بالإحسان زوجتك, is for a day to come to you at a time that you have treated and fulfilled the right of your wife, and your wife have fulfilled your right. Husnul Khatimah, good ending, is for that to come to you at a time that you have raised your children Islamically. Husnul Khatimah, a good ending, is for that to come to you after you have trained your children to offer 5 daily prayers and to be a good Muslim. Husnul Khatimah is for that to come to you while you are always connected with your Creator. You are always reviving the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Husnul Khatimah laysa kayfa mitta faqat. Good ending, Husnul Khatimah, is not like how you died only. وَإِنَّمَا كَيْفَ إِشْتَ أَيْضًا. It is Husnul Khatimah, good ending, is how you lived your life. Did you live your life following your desire, or you lived your life following the Quran and following the authentic Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Husnul Khatimah is for that to come to you when after you have decorated your grave, where you will be ending to, where you will be left alone, where you'll be cushioned alone, Husnul Khatimah is for that to come to you after you have honored what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. O you who believe, fear Allah and let every soul look at what provision they have prepared for tomorrow, and fear Allah. Allah indeed is all knower of what you do. Husnul Khatimah is for that to come to you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with you. Good ending, good death is to be following, to attain it, is to be following the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and adhering to his command. Good ending, Husnul Khatimah, is how you lived your life. Did you live your life in this dunya as a stranger who was passing by, or did you live in this dunya following your desire without thinking of any consequences of your actions? Or did you live your life in this dunya by always bearing in mind that all what I do, all what I say, I'll be questioned about it on the day of judgment? Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu مات على فراشه ولكنه نال حسن الخاتمة. He died on his bed, but he has attained Husnul Khatimah. We know how he accompanied Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and how he served him. We also see Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He was stabbed, and yet he has attained Husnul Khatimah. Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was slaughtered. Yes, he was slaughtered. We know the history of that. وَنَالَ حُسْنَ الْخَاتِمَةِ. He attained good ending. Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu مات اغتيالا. He was ambushed and killed, and he attained Husnul Khatimah. Abu Ubaidah ibn al-Jarrah radiallahu ta'ala anhu مات بالطاعون. He died of a plague. He died of a plague. وَنَالَ حُسْنَ الْخَاتِمَةِ. He attained good ending. Khalid ibn al-Walid radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he participated in all the battles, but he died on his bed, and yet he has attained Husnul Khatimah. At one stage, he looked at the Quran and he spoke to it. He said, "Ma shaghalani anka illa al-jihad." Nothing has occupied me from taking you and opening you and reciting you, reading you daily, but jihad. Participating and contributing in the battle for the sake of Allah. It doesn't mean that he wasn't reading the Quran. In fact, some of the mu'arrikhin, they have said that he was a memorizer of the Quran. And yet that is how he sees himself. If I'm honest with myself, and many of us are honest with ourselves, we will say to ourselves, to the Quran, that Facebook occupied me from reading you, or WhatsApp, or going to the gym all the time, or contacting my friends. We'll find all other excuses. Brothers and sisters, it shouldn't be so. We need to take this Quran and recite it and try to understand the meaning and try to act upon it. Before Quran is being read on our Salatul Janazah, after we have died, because we know the Salatul Janazah, Surah Al-Fatiha is part of it. So let's read the Quran before the Quran be read during the Salatul Janazah on us after we die. Husnul Khatimah doesn't mean you are to die in the path of Allah only, but it also means you have to live in the path of Allah too. So you live in the path of Allah and you die in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين وبذلك أمرت. Muhammad say, my prayers and my sacrifice, my living and my dying, my life and my death, all are for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So to have a good ending is to live in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and also die in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Living your life as every breath you take is the last breath you are taking. Husnul Khatimah, good ending, is to live now and don't wait for tomorrow to come. Husnul Khatimah is to do what you are supposed to do now. Don't plan for tomorrow, because that tomorrow may never come. Husnul Khatimah, good ending, it is when you have prepared yourself and you have loved to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we know the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Man ahabba liqa Allah yahabba Allahu liqa'ahu. Whosoever loves meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will love meeting him or her. Husnul Khatimah, good ending, is when you have prepared for all the answers. Munkar and Nakir will sit you down in your grave and ask you those questions, is when you have prepared for all those answers by acting upon what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have commanded you to do, and by refraining and staying away from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger have ordered you to do. وما أدراك أن الذي مات في حادث سير كان وقتها يسبح والذي مات بسكتة قلبية كان وقتها ذاهبا إلى فقير. You don't know the one who dies in a vehicle accident or any sort of accident. That time he was doing dhikr, he was glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Equally, you do not know the one who just have died suddenly with heart attack. At that time, he was going to visit a needy person. He was going to visit a sickly person. Remember the hadith the hadith al-Qudsi. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that some people on the day of judgment, Allah will say to them, I was sick, you did not visit me. I was hungry, you did not feed me. I was dressless, you did not clothe me. Allah does not need all that. What it means is that there's a slave of Allah in this dunya who is hungry, you did not feed him. Who is thirsty, you did not feed him. Who was sick, you did not visit him. Who was needing clothes, and you have, and you did not provide him with clothes. Husnul Khatimah is putting in your head that death will come to you at any time. Husnul Khatimah is for you to look the longevity of the life of the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When he said, أعمار أمتي ما بين الستين إلى السبعين وإلى الستين أقرب وقليل من يجاوز ذلك. That the longevity of my Ummah is between 60 to 70, and to 60 is more nearer. Very few will pass that. Good ending, Husnul Khatimah, is when you say, Allah, my Creator, I thank you for the life you have given me. I will not disobey you without your will and without your power. And I will not obey you without your will and without your power. Enable me to stop sinning with your will and with your power. And enable me to worship you and to obey you by your will and by your power. Good ending is when you have prepared yourself and you have planned for the akhirah. Remember, we plan for everything in this worldly life. We plan what time we go to work, what time we start, what time we log on, what time we finish. All that is good. Brothers and sisters, if we fail to plan for our akhirah, if we fail to plan and decorate our graves, so with Allah's mercy, our graves can be Rawdatun min Riyadil Jannah, a piece of the place of Jannah. Then we are preparing for the opposite. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from that. We know the khutbah, Iblis will be given. We have shared this a lot, and it is a timely reminder for myself and for you all. When he will say, in the middle of the hellfire, ما كان لي عليكم من سلطان إلا أن دعوتكم فاستجبتم لي ما أنا بمصرخكم وما أنتم بمصرخي فلا تلوموني ولوموا أنفسكم. He will say, I did not force you to follow me. I did not have any power over you to force you to follow me. I only whispered, and then you followed me. I only whispered for you to do it, and you did it. I'm not going to save you. No, you are going to save me. So don't blame me, but blame yourself. Husnul Khatimah, good ending, is when you ask yourself, you talk to your pillow, when you have laid your head down to it, when you have laid your head onto it, after you have recited the dua before going to sleep, ask yourself, what have I done today to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that when I meet with him, he is pleased with me? Because believe me, when you go to sleep, we have no guarantee you will wake up. And ask yourself, what have I done today that is displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is sinning, and repent from it sincerely, with the intention not to repeat it again for the rest of your life, because you never know. When you sleep, you might not wake up. يقول شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية، يقول شيخ الإسلام ابن القيم الجوزية رحمه الله تعالى آمين: عليك بطريق الحق ولا تستوحش لقلة السالكين، وإياك وطريق الباطل ولا تغتر بكثرة الحالكين. شيخ الإسلام Ibn al-Qayyim al-Jawziyah, may Allah have mercy on him, he said, follow the truth, follow the path that is with the haqq, and don't be disheartened for the few followers who are following the haqq. وَإِيَّاكَ وَطَرِيقَ الْبَاطِلِ, stay away, refrain from being on the wrong side. وَلَا تَغْتَرَّ بِكَثْرَةِ الْحَالِكِينَ, and don't be amazed by the number of the large group who are on the wrong side. What this means is always look for the quality, do not look for the quantity. Humble yourself and follow the Quran and follow the footsteps of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and be patient and stay away from being arrogant. Remember, if the entire world is pleased with you, but you know between you and Allah, you are on the wrong, and Allah is not pleased with you, you have not attained anything, you haven't gained anything. And if Allah is pleased with you, you are on the haqq, you are on the right. If the entire ummah displeases with you, you haven't lost anything. Because what we are told is kun ma'allahi wa la tubali. Be always with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and don't care what people say about you. Remember, when you come on the day of judgment, when you are judged, you'll be judged alone. People whom you strive in this dunya to make them feel comfortable and to look after them, there will be nowhere to save you if you are lacking one single point to give you for you to make it to Jannah. Remember what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to his daughter Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha. He said to her, Fatima, ask me anything in this dunya I'll provide you with that. In the Akhirah, I'll not be able to save you. That is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Khatamun Nabiyyin wa Imam al-Mursaleen, the seal of the prophets and the Imam of the messengers and the prophet, the first person to make it to Jannah on the day of Qiyamah, on the day of judgment. He will not be able to save his daughter. Do you think your wife, your daughter, your husband, your this, your that will be able to save you on the day of judgment? HUSNUL Khatimah, good ending, is to have good manners. Because with good manners and acting on good deed always, there's a high chance for you to have HUSNUL Khatimah, good ending. With bad habit, bad manners, there's a high chance one will end up at the time of death dying with bad manners or dying on the act of disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us HUSNUL Khatimah. Allahumma inna nas'aluka بأننا نشهد أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. We ask you by your beautiful names, with the names that when you are asked, you will answer, for you to grant us and our loved ones good ending. Allah, we ask you to grant us accepted tawbah before we die. Allah, we ask you to grant us your mercy after our death. Allah, we ask you to make our hearts always remain steadfast in worshiping you and in pleasing you, in doing what you want us to do, and enable us to follow the footsteps of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma Rabbana atina fi dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmatan innaka antal wahhab. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arina al-batila batilan warzuqna ijtinabah. Allahumma inna nas'aluka bi annana nashhadu annaka anta Allahu la ilaha illa anta al-ahadu as-samadu alladhi lam yalid wa lam yulad. Nas'aluka an tarzuqna husnal khatimah. نسألك أن ترزقنا حسن الخاتمة. نسألك أن ترزقنا حسن الخاتمة. نسألك أن ترزقنا توبة نصوحا. نسألك أن ترزقنا توبة نصوحا. نسألك أن ترزقنا توبة نصوحا. نسألك يا مقلب القلوب أن تثبت قلوبنا على عبادتك. آمين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.